Thank you for tuning in to Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. I am music producer Achickwitbeatz.
And I am serial entrepreneur Breezy Gipson.
Yeah, so we're glad that you tuned in to join us today. You know, another great show lined up as usual. Of course, we've got music industry news, beats by yours truly, and our homeboy Shon Cobain is coming through to share his knowledge and wisdom. And so, yeah, it's always a good time when he comes and, shares his wisdom with us.
Yeah. And also, I'm getting back in the saddle. This is my best day since I suffered that broken arm. And it's been a wild 3 weeks, but hey, the kids coming back.
That's what's up. Because, we need you to be in full effect, you know. We need the full Breeze experience.
Okay.
All right. So, without any further ado, let's go ahead and kick this off with a featured beat of the week and some more tunes, and then we'll be right back after this.
All right.
Change, progress, all of it is full circle. So you have to embody everything. So
to our audience, you just come in every time just sharing, inspiring, educating. So to our audience, back again with us, that illustrious voice you're listening to is the voice of the one and only Shon Cobain. He's back in the mix with us. And see, it didn't take but a second, and he's already sharing some strong stuff. So let me back out the way and get back with Shon.
Well, listen, it's always a pleasure being here, and we started recording earlier, so you guys caught a little bit of that. Well, it's normally, I ain't gonna call it normally, we have banter before we record, but that one of the things I just kind of wanted to share with people. Always happy to be here. Lyrical Way and Wish Entertainment. Shout out to Mud Diamond, Keys, Emma's Boys. Well, I always got something going on. But the most important thing to me, especially for this quarter, right, and I'm getting more into that, I mentioned that, was to be back with Music Marvels. And it's just being away and watching things, watching the business, watching, everything more or less kind of like from the sideline from as a fan. It was pretty much almost like a mini vacation that kind of led to another rebrand. So Music Marvels is definitely a part of my brand, and not realizing sometimes what comes along with brand, right? It's my first time as well. So I've always focused on building other people. And now I'm actually focused on building myself as a brand. And that's a roller coaster right there. It's fun. So like when I say roller coaster, I don't mean necessarily in a bad way. I just think it's new, right? So every challenge is new. And some people look at that as, man, it's just something new every time to push me back. But I'm like I said before we started recording, like I'm on a journey to do something I've never done. So I'm going to run into unique set of problems. And it's just opportunities. There's opportunities to overcome. But some people wash out, with some things happening, and we just kind of have to stay focused. And I think about how much money I've already spent. So at this point, and that's the thing, really, if more people invested in themselves and you actually spent money on this, you wouldn't quit. You can't afford to quit, because at this point now, I feel like every day is a step closer to where I want to be, right? Starting off, I would have never imagined that even right now, it would be going this way, So, and every day that I don't hit my mark or hit potential, I consider like a mini failure, but not necessarily in a bad way. And it's just like, whatever I did yesterday, I know I can't do that today because clearly that doesn't work. So every day is like that. So every day is a chance to learn. Every day is a chance to grow, an opportunity. And that's actually one of the things I wanted to talk to you about today, is just investing in yourself beyond the basics and full body concept. And it's just one of those things that just came to me recently, even in promoting people and pushing them to be the best version of themselves in this business, in this industry, because it is indeed a business. I think that's the most important part, that love the art. If you don't love the business, you need to grow to at least like it, or have someone that loves the business close to you, someone that you can trust. And really just understanding where we're headed, right? What we're looking at. I think everything right now is, you can't define anything anymore. You have to be careful putting labels on people. It's something that I heard, like even I've said it, and I actually saw Isaac Hayes III with Fanbase. He spoke on it, and he's like, everyone's a content creator. You're calling yourself a content creator, blah, blah, blah. And in a sense, I understand what he's saying, but at the same time, when the masses, when they hear content creator, they first thing they think of is, hey guys, they go right to like influencers type. Yeah. So I'm like, you have to be careful when you label people, because it doesn't matter even in context if you're right, it's all about how people perceive things, right? That's why we have to have trademarks and different names. That's why you can't be similar and all that, because public perception, all of that stuff matters. So I'm like, I still don't necessarily view myself as a content creator, even though that's, what we do. But in context, everything we consume is content. So I think it's one of those things to where someone popular just kind of learned a new word. And that's just one of the things that's floating around the culture. And it kind of blinds people, because, like I said, you have to be careful when you use mass labels, because people are the first thing they're going to take a look at or dissect are the negativities attached to that label. So, like I said, I don't consider myself a content creator, but part of what creating content is a part of what I do. So And that's it. It's not a shot at Isaac Hayes III. You know, I love fan base. I'm on fan base. I actually recommend that all creators get on fan base, especially people of color. That's embodies. It's full black startup out of Atlanta. Pretty sure you know a little bit about that. Breezy, you got any experience with fan base?
No, but I've had experience with Isaac Hayes III. So there's a lot of positivity there, a lot of knowledge being shared. Okay, and knowledge is a key to a lot of different great things. So knowledge is the key.
Yeah, see, and I just had a feeling that you already. I had a feeling that you'd had dealings with him, or at least an encounter before. That's the whole reason why I even asked. So Breezy's a man. He's hiding behind it.
I know, right?
No.
Yeah.
Well, now I'm hearing what you're saying, and it's touching on a lot of different topics and experiences and so on and so forth. Because one of the things you said just a few minutes ago was about building yourself, okay, building up yourself, making yourself a better person and things like that. Okay, now I don't know how I can quickly do this, but one aspect. Well, I'll use myself as an example. Years ago, okay, and this has to do with the relationship word, the relationship word. Okay, as in relationship culture. Okay, as in partnerships, and as in girlfriend, boyfriend, or that kind of thing. Well, see, in the culture, and Achickwitbeatz, maybe you can throw a little bit in. There are a lot of relationships in which a female will like to be spoiled and may ask for a couple of dollars here and there to do this or that. Okay. All right. That happens. Okay. However, sometimes, and so when I look at myself and go back 10, 15 years, I can say, there were some folks that were constantly holding a hand out, wanting a handout. Okay. But they're not realizing that they become dependent on that. But it only took until I woke up to say, well, look, I'm not completing myself, I'm not completing my style, I'm being hampered because I'm being approached for funds. But see, those are funds that I need to spend on myself.
Yeah.
You understand what I'm trying to say? Okay.
Yeah.
And so when that continues in a long range, a lot of people can actually not be the person that they are destined to be for others out there always want a handout. Okay, so I'm going to keep it light. I'm not going to get too much deeper than that, but you understand what I'm saying? So
yeah, it happens in all kinds of relationships. Yeah, whether it's personal or business. Yeah, sometimes you get those people that just kind of want to latch on and suck the life out of you if they can.
There you go. That's the phrase. I didn't want to use the phrase, but there's a lot of people out there. They don't see that. So you've got to
parasites.
There you go.
You've got to differentiate whether they're with you or whether they're just along for the ride. Because at the end of the day, if you yourself don't realize that, you've got to take care of yourself, there's aspirations that you have, there's ambitions that you have, and it's easy to get caught up where somebody's depending on you for funds that they really don't really need to depend on you for funds, but they will suck you dry.
Yeah. And not even funds too. Like, that goes for energy as well. Because like I've had long-term colleagues that I've had to cut off for that, just zapping the energy any chance they get. Like,
it's watering too. That's one way I look at it. Is this concept that we hear all the time. It's like we're constantly watering other people. But if people aren't watering you, you know, and I've been in the same thing, you know, and that can push you to the edge, and you don't realize it until one day you literally look up and you're like, there's no one I can call to help me with my problems, because I'm always helping the rest of these people.
There you go.
Yeah.
Oh man. There
you know, and I'm being considerate of everyone else. And I'm like, the thing about it is, growth takes a level of selfishness, right? We don't want to call it that, but you have to be selfish. You have to do things for yourself, because that's what pretty much excels us, right? Is doing the things by free will. So there are things that we necessarily enjoy. So it's like, make time for the things that you naturally enjoy. And actually, because I stalk people, and Damon John's one of the people I stalk. And it's just been natural, even before I even got into, I just always knew I wanted to be in business. So Damon John was talking to just about like how he starts his day. And he just it was just something on Instagram. He's like, first of all, I start my day, first 2 hours of my day, I've dedicated it to me. So I start, you know, I make sure if I have something to do, the first 2 hours of my day, I do what I want to do first. And I thought about it so many times before, you know, how were we taught? Because it's work, right? Work is a priority. We have to hurry up, get our work done, and then we focus on ourselves. Well, by the time it's time to focus on yourself, you're already depleted because you spend so much energy, you know, kind of spreading yourself throughout the world and throughout the day. And it dawned on me. I said, man, I didn't realize. I'm like, 2 decades, you know, in the workforce. It teaches you a lot, right? But we're at a shift in society, right? Because everyone is having this kind of like the same revelation. That's what they call it, the Great Migration. Right. And then, but what comes with that, right? So the Great Migration, and now they're starting to whisper about we have another recession coming soon. But that's neither here nor there. But it just goes back to investing in yourself. And one of the first things you can do is the people around you will determine your success. So if you ever really hear so many successful people talk about what, you know, or people around, people talk about the change and all this and all that and all this. Well, of course you change, right? The whole point in growth is changing. So, and even for me, naturally, there are people with whom I thought, like, in the moment, like, man, we're going to be friends forever. You know, this relationship is going to be here forever. We're going to be tight forever. I'm always going to feel this. Now they're just a part of my story, you know, because I've outgrown them. And it's not necessarily anything negative. And I'm not talking about friends, right? Your friends are going to be your friends, but it's other people that you kind of attach yourself to, that you spend a lot of time with. And those are the people right there. The people who you're spending time with for no reason. Those are the people that drive your success. So you don't get a bunch of famous people wanting to hang out with a bunch of, and that's the other part too. So many people at a level of building, they have a target and you want to go after, you know, I'm trying to get Drake's attention, or I'm trying to get this manager's attention, or I'm trying to do. Why? You add no value to them.
Right. Yeah.
Not even being funny. Your story, your struggle, you know, they have a story and they struggle too. So why are you pursuing these people instead of pursuing people who are doing the same thing, you know, in your city, or not even necessarily in your city, because it's always going to be an issue there. It's always politics in whatever state for whatever reason. But the neighboring state, okay, go with the neighboring state, right? Go with the middle of America. These kids and these, you know, a lot of these festival towns and all of this stuff. I think we spend so much time worrying about our friends and our family. You know, they're your friends and your family. They're not a part of your journey. They're not your fans, and being honest, they're not your support system. They're your friends.
What if we get a big piece of paper and write a small piece of paper and write the word no on it and then tape it to our forehead?
Yeah.
So when they come, they see no. They say, "Oh, are you talking about me?" Oh, yeah.
Yep.
Yeah. It's everyone, and even for myself, and that's what I tell people all the time. This is not me projecting. These are confessions, right? It just sounds like, and I can these, and that's why I can speak with a level of conviction to certain things, because I'm like, hey, you can take away my opinion, but you can't wash away my experiences. Okay.
Whoa, that's strong.
Yeah.
So I'm, and that's what I tell people all the time. I'm not here to debate with you. I'm just offering you another way to look at it, because that's always been the measure of my success, is to see something that someone else doesn't. Right. And that's what innovators do. You have to be willing to see something that other people don't. I remember in my build, back when I was building automobiles, I'd step out on the line for a couple of minutes and I'd see something, bam, right away. They're like, yo, you got like eagle eye, man. How do you even see that? I'm like, I said, the scary part is, if I caught that, how many other little things have just slid right past you? And but it's one of those things and how I learned that is, I learned the whole process from the ground up. And once you learn something from the ground up, you're able to see things that other people just breeze over. They don't even think about it because it's not their responsibility, right? But at one point, this was my responsibility. So now it's something that just kind of sticks out to me naturally. And that actually was part of, the point today is, you don't want to rush the process. You don't want to skip the process, because just because you get the title, you may miss the flaws in the end product, but just because you don't know the process. So who cares if you have the title if you can't do the job? It doesn't, it's the same thing with this. So like, even right now, I'm not searching for a mentor in the music business. I'm not looking for a manager to tell me blah, 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 blah. And the other part is, it's not their job. And they can't tell me how to get to where I want to, because they built their success 20, 30 years ago, right? It's a different age. It's a different time. So same thing for me. I've always gone in and I've always learned everything from the inside out, because you can stand outside the castle walls throwing rocks and screaming all day. Okay, that's fine. We just put up thicker windows, push the gate back a little bit.
Yeah.
Okay, but if I get in there and I get in that basement and I start loosening pipes here, loosening pipes there, eventually I don't have to throw rocks. I just have to know when to get out the way. And that's pretty much what it is with everything. So, and that's really the biggest flaw that we have in the entertainment and more or less the hip hop community, is nobody wants to learn the business. Everyone's so outraged. They want to stand out, throw rocks, call names and everything from outside. Meanwhile, they're just the gatekeepers that everyone so-called. They're just pushing it further and further back. And if people really understood, you don't even need them. It's a hole in the fence.
Wow.
It's a hole in the fence. And that's why everyone isn't successful in this business. That's just the reality of it, right? Yeah. And that's the same thing where I tell myself, if I want to get somewhere, I understand that this is a free market and it's dependent upon me, and I have to invest in myself. So that means relationships as well. But understanding that there's a hole in the fence, that puts everything on me, because you have countless examples of success in this. And it doesn't necessarily mean, and people go for commercial success, and I'm like, you can have that, because I don't want that. I want to be the rich guy that no one knows. Let me be the guy that pulls up in a Ferrari. What do you do for a living? My response is going to be Bitcoin.
Yeah. Every single time that you drop through, I mean, it's always a pleasure. Yeah, your wisdom and knowledge is just just something to soak up. So we enjoy it. So we know the listeners do. But yeah, it's a treat for us. So yeah, I just want to say thank you. We really appreciate you. And yeah, man, your brilliant mind. Yeah, we really appreciate having you on the show.
And I appreciate that.
And make sure for all the listeners, make sure you check out Lyrical Ambush. And there's some other projects that Shon Cobain is tied into. Go ahead and list them out right now while you can.
Mm-hmm. No, man. Pushing hard. We got the FL Cartel. They're out of Fort Worth, so they already have credits. And, I'm not gonna lane drop. I actually got to get them on here too. I gotta see if we get them set up. But really, it's the Emma's Boys, FL Cartel, Mud Diamond. That's pretty much the focus right now. You can really catch me everything Shon Cobain on Instagram, ShonCobain. That's right. Emphasis on the I. Emphasis on the I. That's everybody. And the I is for invest in yourself. That's really what everybody want to walk away with. So, and that's literally invest in yourself. Full body, man. If there's something that's been bothering you, if you can't fit into that dress that you want to fit into, then you know what you got to do to get back into it. Invest in yourself and do that because it's something that's going to make you happy. If it's same thing for men, man. Hey, if you can't take your shirt off in confidence because you want to, then do something about it. We control more than we think we do. So that's it. Wisdom. So everyone, just stay positive. Don't be afraid to cut positivity out. You don't have to cut it completely off, but limit it. Doesn't matter what relationship it is. If you can find healthy ways to smooth it out, fine. If it's going to cost you too much energy, distance yourself from it and get sunlight. Sunlight.
Good. Words of intellect, words of knowledge, words of compassion. Oh man, all from the one and only Shon Cobain. So Shon, thank you so much for being back in the mix one more time. And but we're gonna have to take a broom and sweep that sidewalk off, sweep the carpet off or whatever, vacuum it off for you to come back again in the not too distant future. Okay.
Yeah, definitely. I'm back on my thing. So I'm back on my grind. So I definitely got to be more consistent, and I look forward to it.
Okay.
Great. Thank you. All right. And yes, it's, like I said, it's always great when he comes through. Just so much information. It's just great to absorb his energy. And yeah, it's just always awesome. We really appreciate him.
Yeah, a scholar indeed.
Mm-hmm. All right. We're going to take a quick pause for the cause and we'll be back with music industry news right after this.
Okay.
we're back with music industry news. Man, TuneCore has paid $222 million to artists just last year. And so now that put them over for total payouts of $2.5 billion. Yeah, I mean, it's just, yeah, it's amazing. It's a great thing. But the best part of it is that the independent label and self-releasing artist sector is the main contributor to it. So I've always said indie's where it's at. But yeah, according to media last year, independent labels and self-releasing artists generated $9.9 billion in recorded music royalties.
Say that one more time.
Last year, independent labels and self-releasing artists generated $9.9 billion in recorded music royalties.
Okay, how much again?
9.9 billion.
Oh, 9.9 million.
Nope. Billion with a B, capital B. Bold B, underline B. Yeah.
And these were what kind of artists?
Independent.
Whoa.
And so, you know, of course, that also includes the independent labels. Matter of fact, shout out to Nylon Tracks, independent label that I'm affiliated with. And yeah, on top of that, yeah, shameless plug there. But self-releasing artists, so independent artists that aren't even affiliated with a label, drove 1.5 billion of that total. So yeah, I mean, I mean 1.9 million, you know, I mean, I understand. 1.5 billion.
Oh, billion. Capital B, bold B. So yeah, I mean, you don't really need a label these days. You know, sometimes you talk to people and they still think like, oh, I'm trying to get signed, da 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 da. And really all it is just getting a loan. So they're not giving you that money. They ain't giving you nothing.
No.
Hey, actually they ain't giving you Nathan.
Yeah, there you go. Oh yeah, the 90s term there. Yeah, brought it back. Exactly. So yeah, I'm just saying, not saying that you can't sign with a label, but you know, it's perfectly cool to do it by yourself. The DIY thing is what's up. And then if you're actually doing it yourself, then you don't have to worry about trying to pay back the label or making sure that you recoup, you know, your advance and all that stuff. So, you know, I'm not telling you what to do, but yeah, you don't need a label to make things happen, obviously. And these figures in the billions are telling you that right there.
Yeah, because no disrespect, but a lot of times when you get with that label, it's chicky. Chicky.
You are not lying. Yeah. I mean, yeah, if they spend the money, they want to make sure that it's going to be consumed by the masses, which means that you have to kind of water down your flavor a little bit. I mean, it just goes with the territory. And if you don't want to do that, then do it yourself or find an independent label. Yep. Or find an independent label that will let you be free and do what you do.
And we talking, you know, trap time, not necessarily trap music. Trap time, as in a real trap. Okay, so
right.
Indie, go indie.
Yeah, I'm sorry. Okay. Yeah, not to digress too much, but when you said that, it brought up the clip that went viral where I can't even remember whose podcast Snoop Dogg was on, where he was doing it, saying that there was a lot of people using the same flow. And he was doing it, was like, you know what? All the songs around that time sounded like that, but that's why people kind of default to it, because they know it's popular and they know it'll sell. So, yeah. But yeah, if you don't want to do some cookie cutter stuff, DIY, indie's where it's at.
Yep.
All right. Golden State Warriors. Oh man. So So yeah, they decided to go ahead and step into movies, music, and events with Golden State Entertainment. So, I feel like we've had quite a few stories like this to where, all these different companies are kind of branching out a little bit. So yeah, now they're launching that. The new division will create licensed content, so documentaries. They're going to make music and then hold non-basketball live events in the Bay Area. So yeah, even the NBA team has recognized, okay, there's a lot of money to be made here in this music sector and entertainment. And so now they're going to branch out into that. So I'm kind of excited to see what's going to come forth.
I am as well. Yeah, that's large.
Yep. And A&E is launching Origins of Hip Hop. So it's going to tell the stories of Busta Rhymes, Eve, Ice-T, and a whole bunch more MCs. It's going to be 8 episodes for the docuseries, which is produced by Mass Appeal. And yeah, they've been working hard over there. So, they have also had the Showtime series that they've been doing with the This Is Hip Hop, just constantly cranking out killer content. I mean, just awesome. So yeah, this is gonna start to air Tuesday nights on A&E June 6th. Well, it'll premiere on May 30th, but then it'll start doing the consecutive ones June 6th and going forward until they're done. So it's gonna have archived footage, interviews, commentary, and so yes, Busta Rhymes, Eve, Fat Joe, Grandmaster Flash, Ice-T, Ja Rule, Lil Jon, and Uncle Luke. So I'm really excited to see that one. I was kind of little when Luke was going through the whole free speech thing for some of the music that they had put out back in the day. But I kind of remember watching that, like, wow, this is crazy, that hip hop was making such an impact. The people
95 South.
Yeah. So yeah, I'm really excited to see that. I love watching him tell the story. There's been some the documentaries on Netflix that kind of tapped into it a little bit, but yeah, I can't wait to see his. I'm gonna watch all of them, but I really can't wait to watch his.
Yeah, that's gonna be good. That's really gonna be good.
All right, and for Christian music, SiriusXM is going to debut a religious hip-hop channel, Holy Culture Radio. And so yeah, it's based in Philadelphia. It's going to be channel 154, but they said it'll be the home for everything Christian hip-hop and rhythm and praise. So, that's an exciting thing. Christian hip-hop, man, these people have been going hard lately. It's not like it used to be back in the day. You can hear it in, different TV shows and stuff that you watch. Sometimes you hear it in like the games. So yeah, this is a really cool thing. It's a win for the culture, in my opinion.
Crunk for Christ. They out there.
Yeah, there you go. Yep.
There you go. Yeah. And some of the singers too. Shout out to Deborah Price. Oh yes.
Oh yeah, for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Future guest on the Music Marvelous show, Deborah Price. Oh yeah.
Awesome. Yes. All right, and B Quant lists their first music token, which is the Jam token, and their whole purpose is to make sure that they pay musicians a fair rate. So, we keep talking about, the whole metaverse world, the NFTs, Web3 stuff. And so, yeah, they're excited to be getting into the music sector. And it's been their purpose is to make sure that with the shift from buying to streaming, that, artists can still get their just due. And so now we got something to look forward with that. So it's affiliated with Tune FM. So, be on the lookout for the Jam token. And it's been so interesting to kind of watch how all this has been developing. And, we're still kind of learning and feeling our way around. There's been so many companies that have been kind of venturing into this. So I'm interested to see, who's going to kind of come out on top and be the most popular. But yeah, this is a really, really exciting time to be involved in the industry and see some of the changes that will become commonplace at some point.
Oh yeah, oh yeah. Good stuff. Strong stuff.
Mm-hmm. All right, we're gonna take a quick pause for the cause, and then we'll be back with more music industry news right after this. Okay. More music industry news. Midem is returning next year, 2023, in a deal with the city of Cannes. So yeah, after a whole year of negotiation, RX France went ahead and sold it to the city. So now they're going to take over, which is a really good thing. It's been around for 55 years. And so once they said that they weren't going to be holding it, everybody was kind of sad. I remember when I initially tweeted the information, somebody had sent a petition to get the city to do it. I'm like, I can't really sign that because I'm not in that area. But yeah, it's a really good thing. I'm glad that they were able to work something out to bring it back because I know that it's near and dear to a lot of people in the area.
Strong.
And Walmart Airs are launching a new music festival, trying to make Arkansas an art destination. So it's going to be called The Format. And Format is in all caps, and it stands for Music and Art and Technology.
You know what? That's BAM right there. It really, might as well in their home city, home state.
Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's pretty boss.
And think of how much they contribute by providing outlets all over the country, actually all over the world, for music to be purchased and sold, as well as the equipment to listen to the music. Oh man, so that's and art, and so that's a natural right there.
Right.
Why it take so long?
I know, right? Yeah, it was one of those things like you didn't even know that it needed to happen, but then once you heard, it's like, yeah, why didn't this exist already?
Yeah.
So
See now, you can actually kind of correlate that with what the Golden State Warriors are doing. Now, hey, a
yeah.
lot of these people there, hey man, they're sticking their little toe into these things and realizing just what's going on. They've been focusing on one thing, but see now they can diversify a little bit.
Ooh.
And,
wait.
yep.
Say that again.
They are realizing for the first time that they can diversify a little bit. See, they've been concentrating on one thing, but see, they can diversify so a little bit. So if you don't catch these hints, we plant the seeds.
Right. We ain't telling you what to do. We're just sharing the information, and you can do with it what you will. But yeah,
that's right.
But yeah, if you look at some of the artists that most of us know and listen to, and maybe even look up to, they're doing the exact same thing. So as an independent artist, there's no reason why you can't capitalize on as an independent artist.
The ones that didn't get in that little tricky label.
Exactly.
The ones that got they got freedom to do a lot more things.
Exactly. The sky is the limit. So, that's why we share these stories. So that way you can be aware of what's going on and see what you can do and flip and make work for you. So
and also keep in mind the artist formerly known as, there's people way back that blazed the trail for this. They blazed the trail. So that trail is there. Better investigate, inspect what you expect, and diversify.
Yes. There you go. Right, and there's a new documentary called Southumentary. It's going to come in 2 parts for the SYS rap group that actually launched Gucci Mane's career. So it's been completed, post-production is ready to go, and now they're about to start shopping it around to major streaming platforms and stuff to see who's going to distribute it. And I feel like that'll be really great to watch. And see, how everything kind of went down. I've said it before. Anytime we share the news about new documentaries and stuff coming out, it's always good to kind of see the origins. Because a lot of times we don't hear the struggle. We get to see the glamour side of it. But once you know people who are actually shining, they're in the spotlight. But to see what they went through to actually get there, it kind of normalizes the stuff that most of us deal with, So yeah, just because it might not be going the way that you wanted to right now, or you hit some bumps, little hiccups in the road, don't give up, keep going. So yeah, I'm excited to see it and check it out. Yeah.
Be optimistic. Don't give up.
Yeah.
Keep rolling. Keep flowing.
Yep. And a foundation was launched to offer support to survivors of sexual abuse in the music industry. And so I think that this is a great thing. Statistics show that 72% of musicians who identify as women have experienced some form of discrimination in the industry. 67% say that they've been victims of sexual harassment, and 85% of the victims didn't file reports. So it's something that happens commonplace. You hear about some of it, but it happens way more than you can even imagine. Honestly, and this is not something I talk about openly, but I've experienced it as well. And yeah, I didn't share it because mainly I didn't feel like talking about it, but I feel like it's a great thing that they're actually addressing this and offering a safe space. So yeah, the industry is tough anyway, but especially as a woman, yeah. So this is an awesome thing. If you need more information, you can head to the Face the Music Now Foundation site and make sure you check it out.
Yes. And riding on the coattails of that, shout out to the city of East Point, Georgia, which is in the southern suburbs of Atlanta. They've had a couple of tragic incidents within the last 2 weeks of of people, most particularly a female being shot to death inside a recording studio. Now that happened over the past weekend, which okay. So the city is taking steps now to come up with a particular board, a governing board, community governing board, to take a look at protecting folks inside of recording studios and even the areas surrounding recording studios and so forth for safety.
Good.
Okay, so
good, yeah, because it's something that it makes people uncomfortable, so people don't really talk about it that often, but it's a problem that needs to be addressed. So I'm really happy that these measures are being taken.
Yes.
All right, and Splice has been making some moves. We talked about them teaming up with SoundCloud, and now they've partnered with African music streaming service Boomplay. And so, they say that Boomplay has 69 million monthly active users, and it's the largest and fastest growing music streaming and downloading platform in Africa. And so, they've got more than 72 million tracks and over 4,000 partnerships with local and international labels and distributors. And so, anytime we share this, what I'm going to say next. Make sure that your music is there. So, I think a lot of countries don't really have the issue that we do here in the U.S. to where we just kind of focus on our area. And so, I say this all the time because I see people say, available on all platforms. And then you check, well, is it here? Is it there? And then they say, no, there's more than just the U.S. And if you're outside of the U.S., there's more than just your area. But pay attention to some of these markets. Some of them are emerging. Some of them have already emerged. So make sure that your music is where people can listen to it and enjoy it. You never know who might stumble upon what you have to offer. So think big.
That's right. Think big. Don't be perpetrating like it's like, hey, my music's on all platforms, and then somebody else they discover, just like she said, it is not. So it'll make you come across as a more astute businessman or businesswoman when you can back up what you say. So take the steps, dig and delve, and get your music out there.
Absolutely.
Yeah. The more you get your music out there, the merrier you will be.
Exactly. Perfect. All right, we're going to take a quick pause for the cause, and then we'll be back before we head out for the night. that does it for this week's edition of Music Marvels with Achickwitbeatz and Breezy Gipson. Once again, we thank you so much for joining us. We love having you rock with us. And it's always a good time, and we hope that you enjoy it too.
Yeah, this is it, man. Gaining momentum more and more momentum. Hey, this thing is spreading. So we thank you. We thank all of the listeners wherever you're located. You could be in Antarctica, or you could be just right around the corner in Andy City, whatever. But thanks for taking the time to tune in, support us, listen to the rebroadcast, tell your friends, whatever, holler out the bus, train, whatever you're riding or driving. And because hey, we ready. Oh, and speaking of that, shout out to a particular well-known rapper. That song "We Ready," keep it in your mind. And some tragic things happened. You can look it up on various information sites, but just keep that song in your mind. We ready. We ready.
Mm-hmm. All right, so you know where to find us next time. Tune in, tell a friend, and we'll see you then. Peace.